And what's up, everybody? We're back with another episode of the Live Laugh Left podcast. We are back, and Pomeroy is here again.
Hello, folks.
And Pomeroy is back, and for good reason. We've got a lot to talk about related to Anne's adventures again. But first, as we record this, before we get down to stuff today, Gary's camera is off, and I don't know what his PFP is, but we're going to just ignore that.
That's gold shit from Umisume Pretty Derby mixed with like that one picture of the drawing doing that.
There's a good
face.
reason why Gary's camera is off, and unless you follow our secret channel where we upload random clips and other random shit, you won't know why, but you're about to find out why. So Gary, why don't you just take it away?
Yes, I have gotten a cut of the hair.
Which one?
That was the worst way to possibly say that. Yes, I got a cut.
I know. I'm not.
You sound like Starfire. I have the cut hair.
I'm not gonna repeat. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
You didn't show us. Hello, Walter White.
I am now Tyler. I have become the Pringleson.
It was funny how your hair was perfectly cut off the screen, so it didn't look any different.
The hair is gone.
Well, Gary got a based haircut, so happy for you, Gary.
I got the Tyler haircut.
That's right, baby. That's right, baby. Oh, that was funny as fuck. Anyway, gonna jump straight into it today. Really don't have too much of a ton on the docket, at least compared to the last couple of weeks. Got a lot more NBA trades to go over. Obviously, some baseball stuff to go over, and of course, the reason why Anne is here for some NASCAR stuff and a few other racing-related things that we will get to. But before we do that, I'm gonna let our guest, who has appeared more times here than Gary has this year. That's not true.
Really?
That's not true.
Yeah.
That was.
No, that's not.
That might actually.
No, definitely not. I don't think
it's a closer figure than it should be or may seem. But anyway, we're gonna let Ann Pomeroy take it away with trivia this week.
Alrighty. So this is from good old Trivial Pursuit. This is Pringleson Daily Trivia at its finest right here. This is the orange question. Which college football team made the trek in history from unranked to number 1 in the 2014 season?
Can you repeat that? You cut out.
Did I really? That's unfortunate. Okay. Which college football team made the fastest trek in history from unranked to number 1 in the 2014 season?
College football unranked to number 1. I'm gonna say Mississippi State. That was the year they had Dak Prescott, so I think that's what they were number 1.
Yeah, it is. They were the first ever CFP ranked number 1 team.
Which is crazy to think about now.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's fucking Mississippi State.
Well, there you go. Good trivia question.
Yeah.
Oh, got it. Well, I can ask some more. I can ask which island country has a map of itself on its flag.
All right, cool. Nice little piece of trivia there. So,
yeah.
Like I said, the bulk of this episode is going to be and stuff, baseball stuff, and basketball stuff. So you guys can choose what to do first. We'll do and stuff last. So either basketball or baseball to start. Hello?
What?
Hello?
You guys cut out.
Hello?
Again. What the fuck? Say it again.
Tyler.
They were saying, what about World Cup?
We are going to talk about the World Cup as well. We'll go over that. And we're going to talk.
You want to start there?
We can talk about some other sports-related stuff. Sure, we'll talk about the World Cup. Let me pull up the updated bracket. I totally forgot about the World Cup, actually, but I've got it right here, so we're good. The round of 16. Well, last time we chatted about this on the podcast, we were still in the round of 32. So I'll go over those full results now, and then we'll also go over the round of 16, as those are pretty much concluded at this point. Canada beat South Africa 1-0. Morocco beat the Netherlands in a penalty shootout. 1-1. I hate how they fucking score that. Paraguay beat Germany the same way. France beat Sweden 3-0. Belgium beat Senegal 3-2. The U.S. beat Bosnia and whatever the other part of that is 2-0. Spain beat Austria 3-0. Portugal beat Croatia 2-1. Brazil beat Japan 2-1. Norway beat Cote d'Ivoire 2-1.
Ivory Coast.
Ivory Coast. Mexico beat Ecuador 2-0. England beat the Dominican Republic of the Congo 2-1. Switzerland beat Algeria 2-0. Colombia beat Ghana 1-0. And Egypt beat Australia 1-1. And Argentina beat Cabo Verde 3-2. That was the round of 32.
That game was insane.
Yeah. The Argentina games overall have been insane. As we go to the round of 16. Morocco beat Canada 3-0. France beat Paraguay 1-0. The U.S. lost to Belgium 4-1. That was an embarrassing showing on the field for the United States, but that was expected. Spain beat Portugal 1-0. Norway beat Brazil 2-1. That's kind of a surprising upset, isn't it? Or no?
A little bit, yeah. But Norway's not. Norway's pretty good.
England beat Mexico 3-2, knocking out. So I guess now, yep, all of the host countries are knocked out now. They all made it to the round of 16 and then just fell like fucking dominoes. At least Mexico put up some sort of a fight. Canada and the U.S. did not.
Well, that's because Canada never knows how to fight back.
True.
As my computer starts to die.
Here's I think another big upset. Switzerland beating Colombia 0-0. And then Argentina beat Egypt in a thriller 3-2. So the remaining matchups now as we move into the quarterfinals. 8 teams left: France, Morocco, and Spain, Belgium, Norway, England, and Argentina, Switzerland. So
Did you guys pick winners?
We did not do a World Cup bracket prediction just because of the timing of it.
Fair enough. So who do you think will win out of these 8, though? I guess that's my question.
Well, I'm not rooting for any of these teams.
Don't care times 8.
I probably would say Argentina.
Don't care times 8.
Maybe Spain.
Wow. I would pick France. They haven't looked weak at all against anyone. I don't know. That would be my... I don't know that I'm rooting for anyone. I don't really care. But
I don't either. That won't...
France feels the strongest right now.
So the World Cup will not be over by the time of our next episode, but it will be by the time of the next episode after that.
Yeah, probably.
Good to know.
But you'll have a lot to talk about on that episode besides the World Cup, it sounds like.
True. But that is the update of the World Cup. Some other general sports-related topics that I had here. So we all talked about a few weeks ago, I think, or whatever, we talked about MSU's brand patch deal with MSU, FCU. Well, Wisconsin decided to do a similar thing. And guess who they got to get on their jerseys?
Am I supposed to guess? Look, I already know the answer.
It's Culver's. They got Culver's. That's okay. So the color scheme does not match at all, right? But it's such a awesome brand partner, and it's perfect for Wisconsin.
Oh yeah, I mean, because I'd also rather have Culver's than like a mortgage company or a waste disposal company or whatever else.
I'm in waste.
Did you see, by the way, good old Priority? Did you see, Tyler, that they the Big 12 signed a jersey patch deal for the entire conference today. It's Monster Energy. So every Big 12 jersey next year is going to have a Monster patch on it.
That's kind of funny.
A little bit. Like I thought of when Kurt Busch was at Ganassi, they had to do like those stupid schemes where they had to carve out like a black spot for the Monster logo, and they look so bad. But so all the Big 12 jerseys are just going to look terrible. But the jersey patch situation is really ramping up, and that was just another domino. Or maybe it's just men's basketball, but Monster will be on Big 12 jerseys this year. Get excited.
Monster, proud sponsor of No Defense. Also, I wanted to talk about the hot dog eating contest. It's a sport, okay? Just putting that out there. It's a sport. I don't always follow the hot dog contest ever like super closely, but this year I did watch it in full, and I don't know how it's like in other years, but this year they seem to have the most accurate people possible when you think of a person that would enter a hot dog eating contest. Like, they had a guy who holds the world record for most amount of fudge eaten at like 14 pounds of fudge in like 8 minutes.
Jeez.
I'm like, you get constipated eating that much fudge. Like how the fuck is that even possible? Like, fudge is such a dense, rich food. To eat that much of it and that fast, I couldn't.
I don't know, man.
But obviously,
There was also a guy that holds the world record of chugging a gallon of lemonade in 23.6 seconds.
Chugs. Yes, Badlands Chugs. Dude, he chugged. Oh my god, dude. I love that he is a part of this whole like festival now, because he is the perfect guy for it. Oh my god, I was so pissed. Because it was on, I think it was on ESPN2. And we were watching it, and they were literally about to do the lemonade chugging contest, and I saw Badlands in the background, and they cut the commercial, and it pissed me off. I hated that. I fucking hated that, because I really wanted to see him just like fucking inhale the lemonade, and he didn't. But he won, so it didn't matter. But then, of course, Joey Chestnut won the hot dog eating contest as if it was really a question of who was going to win. He won in a landslide. He ate 6-7 hot dogs.
Shut up. A kid literally walked up to me yesterday and said, "Hey, do you know 6-7?" And I wanted to punch that kid in the face.
It's not very nice, Garry.
You should have just done the 6-7.
But no, I just ignored him and walked away.
True.
No, hot dog eating contest was awesome. Joey Chestnut should come back to Lugnuts one of these times. He was there a couple years ago to set the Olive Burger record.
They've done that twice. He's been there twice. And there's a bobblehead.
It was twice?
Yeah,
Nice.
they did 2 years in a row, and there's a bobblehead of him. I really want it, and I don't have it.
My brother has it. You can try and buy it off him.
But he set the first year he came, he set the record for most olive burgers eaten in like a 10-minute span or whatever. Then he came back and beat his own record the next year, which was
crazy.
Really fucking awesome. I just wanted to highlight on that. Don't really have anything else for that other sports category. We'll obviously keep updating the World Cup in the next couple of weeks. So we're going to move on to basketball now. So I want to cover, again, just like last week, there is a ton of NBA trades to go over. They're starting to slow down, but there are still a couple ones that were coming up like either right after the episode last week or even right before we started recording tonight that I wanted to cover. Specifically in the just NBA realm, unless you're living under a rock, you saw that LeBron is leaving the Lakers. and is a free agent again. It looks like he's going to sign with the Warriors, though he hasn't signed anywhere yet. I don't know why he'd sign with the Warriors. Other than just to play with Steph Curry. It would make more sense if he went back to Cleveland or even went back to Miami to play with Giannis. But it doesn't seem like he has interest in going to either of those places. I also don't know why the fucker won't just hang it up and just join a fucking broadcast unit and keep making thousands of millions of dollars or whatever the fuck. But, not my choice either. So time will tell where he goes, but it does seem like he's going to sign with the Warriors. And it seems like Bronny will not come with him wherever he goes because, as far as I can tell, the Lakers are just like decommissioning him and no team wants him because he is absolute dog shit and shouldn't even be in the NBA at all. I'm glad teams are finally realizing that after he was doubted as a first-round pick with averaging like not even 6 points a game. Actual trades that happened. The Raptors got Kawhi Leonard back and a reunion there from the Clippers. In return, the Clippers are going to get Brandon Ingram, Grady Dick, great name by the way, great player at Kansas, 2 first-round picks, 1 pick swap, and 2 second-round picks. All that for a banged-up old Kawhi Leonard. Wow. The Clippers did something good for once and won that trade. They'll probably fuck it up somehow, though. It's the Clippers. And then also, Jaylen Brown got traded. This was a big talk for a while that he was going to get traded, but people didn't know exactly where he was going to go. He got traded to the 76ers. So he's going to be playing alongside Joel Embiid for the 5 games a year that Joel Embiid is healthy. In return, Boston is going to get Paul George and some draft picks. Paul George's ass. Boston probably won't even play him. But draft picks could be interesting. And then specifically for the Pistons, they've been making some moves. Obviously, last we talked, they lost Beef Stew. And they still haven't signed Jalen Duren, or gotten rid of Jalen Duren. He's kind of just there. So still figuring out what's going to happen there. But what they did do, they got John Collins on a 3-year, $51 million deal, who is going to be the replacement for Tobias Harris. Yes, guys, Tobias Harris is gone. The guy who now has more career earnings than Kobe Bryant is now playing for the Spurs. So he is gone on another new team. I love Tobias Harris. I would have loved for him to stay. He made some great impacts in the playoffs, but what are you going to do? Then the big one that just came through right before we started recording, the Pistons trading away Karis LeVert along with 2 second-round picks to the Milwaukee Bucks for Taurean Prince and Gary Harris, the former MSU player, is coming back to Michigan to play for the Pistons. This is not a good trade, and don't let anybody tell you that it is. Gary Harris and whoever the fuck this other guy is, they're kind of ass. And the Pistons gave away a player that, Karis LeVert wasn't a great player. He never really has been. But what he shows is effort, and he was having some great strides in the playoffs. They also traded more draft picks away. They've traded a lot of draft picks away lately. That's probably going to come back to bite them in the ass in the future years. But who knows? Maybe this will be a good change for them. They are freeing up some cap space. Maybe to sign Jalen Duren. I don't know what the fuck they're doing there, but safe to say the Pistons roster is looking very much different than it was even just a month or so ago. So that is it for anything basketball related. I don't know if either of you guys got anything you want to add in the basketball category.
I don't think so. I've just been curious where Duran's gonna go, because Sacramento has been like continuously recommended, but I don't think that's gonna happen at this point. It was just kind of a leverage thing. I mean, I don't know. I don't have a ton to add in the NBA department, but
Well, it
I
seems
don't
like
know what are they.
it seems like the Pistons. There was a report that came out the Pistons are going to match whatever offer another NBA team throws out there. So it seems like they're going to sign him, but I don't know why they just haven't done that yet. But I assume that's why they're freeing up so much cap space. But I don't fucking know. I don't work for the Pistons front office. They could be fucking themselves in the ass right now for all I know. So
Not yet, at least. You've got a doctorate, so you should get your application in.
true. But otherwise, that's it for basketball.
Yeah, I'd be curious. It seems, yeah.
Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper.
Boo.
I only have one thing for hockey, and it's Red Wings related. Surprisingly, Dylan Larkin has not been traded yet either.
Yeah.
I really hope they don't trade him just to shove it down his fucking ass, but we'll see what happens there.
Sounds like Patrick Kane's gone either this offseason or at the deadline.
Oh, yeah.
Not surprised. That guy can fucking...
Hopefully he gets traded to prison.
True.
Yeah.
But that's not the news that I have. What the Red Wings did do is they got Keegan Kolesar from Vegas in exchange for a 7th-round pick in the 2027 draft and a 3rd-round pick in the 2029 draft. So basically nothing.
Yeah, not a great return there.
Well, that's what Vegas got. So actually, maybe not a bad trade for the Red Wings. Who knows?
Trust the eyes are playing.
True. That's all I had for hockey. So we will jump into baseball stuff now. Obviously, always a lot to go over with, baseball stuff this time of year. I will say tonight, at the time of this video going up, I'm going to the Tigers game, and maybe, just maybe, I will try and get a Tarek Skubal bobblehead. We'll see if there's 30,000 people lined out the door like the last time there was a Tarek Skubal bobblehead giveaway. Before this series of giveaways. Either way, though, it was an $18 ticket. Should be a fun time. But how have the Tigers been doing? They've actually been doing really well since our last episode. They went into New York to face the Yankees in a 3-game series, and they swept them, beating the Yankees first game 1, 9-3. Then they beat them again 6-2 in 11 innings to complete the series sweep there. So really good stuff there. Fuck the Yankees, and Tigers own them. Then then they played the Rangers to complete the road trip in Texas. They lost the first game 10-4. Really wasn't that close. But then they were able to rebound. They beat the Rangers 3-0 on the 4th of July. And then they beat them again 6-3 to get the series win. So they are 10 games under 500 as we creep closer to the All-Star break. I will say they are at home now playing the A's. Tonight is game 1. Time of recording this. This is the first of the 2 Skubal bobblehead nights, and he actually started tonight on his own bobblehead night. Currently, it's top of the 9th. They are up 6-2 with 1 out. So I will break back into the action to update should the Tigers hold on for the win there, and that would be their 6th win in the last 7 games. So that's that. Now I will let Garry take it over for the Lugnuts and the Growlers.
Yes. So Lugnuts have had a bad second half. I mean, we all know that. Second half has just not been good. Going into Dayton, we only have one win on our belt. Just one.
That's so bad. That is so bad.
In the second half.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck, that is terrible.
So, if I'm looking at this correctly, hold on. 10, 9, 8, and so we were 1-8 going into the Dragon series. Well, we went on a 2-game win streak because we beat the Dragons in 11 innings, 7-6, on the last day of June. So, that happened. But it didn't last for very long because, again, in 11 innings, we lost to the Dragons on the 1st of July. What a way to start out July, right? We lost 9-8. And then we lose 2 more games against the Dragons, one being 7-3, the other being 6-3. So now we've only won 2 games in the entire second half. This ain't good. Then we go back-to-back winning again against the Dragons, 4-3 and 8-2. So we split the series. I'd rather split the series with the first half champions than get dominated by them. In my opinion, I'll take it any day. Right now, they are currently playing the second place team in the first half, the Lake County Captains. You're meaning to tell me the previous series before the Dragons, we faced the Great Lake Loons, who were battling for the first half championship. Then you have the first half champions that we face, and now we're facing the other team that battled for the first half championship.
To be the best, you got to beat the best, and they certainly aren't doing that. So,
but since we are still on the Midwest League stuff, Tyler, you have something on here that contends with Midwest League.
Before that, real quick, I want to chime in. Final Tigers win 6-2 against the A's, so I'm going to close that down. Just want to point that out. So there we go.
And right now, the Lugnuts are losing to the Lake County Captains 7-5 in the bottom of the 7th.
Oh boy.
So,
on the 4th of July, SportsCenter did their top 10 right before the hot dog eating contest, and number 7 on the list was a play between Fort Wayne and the Loons. So it was just like a fairly standard play for making SportsCenter top 10, but I thought it was cool that the Midwest League made SportsCenter top 10, even if it was the Loons and the Tin Caps. So I just wanted to point that out.
All right, and then I have 2 things. One, I had to work this thing called Boom Ball. If you've ever heard of Banana Ball, it's practically that.
Oh, yeah.
So I honestly just don't. Let me tell you something. It was crazy, not only because there was the city fireworks going off. We had fireworks going off. Not even a mile behind us, there was a thunderstorm coming in, so you hear lightning and thunder, and rain was coming. I don't know why they didn't stop it. They just kept going.
That's funny. That is really fucking funny.
So, when they mean it was Boom Ball, literally.
Literally Boom Ball. Just, I could just imagine. Oh, that would
And then, speaking of 4th of July, they came out with the MILB and Major League came out with new Lugnuts hats, USA flat or hats, and I got one. I got the Lugnuts, and it's the 250 I got the patch 250 with
There
the
you
lug
go.
nuts. On the inside, you have the American flag with 1776. So I will definitely be wearing these in some of the podcasts. Probably not for a while because the lug nuts aren't going to win a championship. So, but other than that, then we have the Kalamazoo Growlers. So, last time we were on here, the first half was about to end. And, well, to say that as a Growlers fan, the Kalamazoo Growlers choked, we choked hard. Because all we had to hope for was Kenosha to beat Traverse City, and we had to beat the Chinooks. Instead, we had to bring in a guy who last time was on the mound, made the other team score 23 runs. We lose 20-8 to the Chinooks.
Oof.
I am upset because then we lost the first half championship, not to Traverse City, but to Kenosha. Like I said in the last podcast, I'd rather have Kenosha be the champion than Traverse City. Kenosha is actually really good. Me and Ann can fully 100 agree. Kenosha is good.
Oh, yeah.
So they I mean, props to them. I didn't put it on here, but here are the first half champions for the Great Plains East. We have the La Crosse Loggers. For the Great Plains West, we have the St. Cloud Rocks, ROX. So those two are the winners of that. Then the first half Great Lakes East champion was Kenosha. And for the West, it was the Madison Mallards who took that. So they will get the playoff spot. And now they don't have to worry about the second half. But now, as we go on June 30th, Growlers looking back to come in and take back what was theirs. And now we go to the second half championship. Let's take that away. And we win 13-9. And then we also got some people, which some of us will know. One of them, actually two of them, Joshua Campbell, RJ Anglin, and Henry Slabby will represent the team in next week's All-Star game, aka when we're doing this, it's probably going on. Joshua Campbell's from Michigan, RJ's from Huntington, and listen to this, everyone. Henry Slabby is from the Michigan State University.
Let's go.
Let's go,
There you
baby. And a home run derby will be having Joshua Campbell, the Michigander, or the Michigan player. So they will be the All-Stars, and they're going to be playing at the Field of Dreams site, which I think is also really, really goddamn cool.
That is really cool, actually. I that would be an awesome experience to just imagine a college kid just playing in a summer league and you get to play there. That'd be awesome.
And then we go against Royal Oak again, and we beat them. So now we're thinking, okay, we get a day off. Let's go beat Traverse City. Nope. I don't know why we cannot beat Traverse City. Why is it? we can beat Battle Creek good. We could beat Royal Oak good, but we can't seem to beat Traverse City. So that made the Traverse City Pit Spitters now have a 6-1 lead against us in the 131 series record after we beat them the first game of the season.
So, Gary, what you're saying is they've won 6 out of 7?
No. Tyler, stop. Then the I-94 Rivalry Cup is 3-1, and then Royal Oak Series, they don't have really a championship that they fight for, so I just decided to put it on there because it's a Michigan team. 4-2, Kalamazoo leads. But on the 4th of July and the 5th of July, Growlers face the Kenosha Kingfish. And what do you know? They just swapped scores because they were both 11-5. So, but Growlers won on the 4th of July, and then Kenosha Kingfish won on the 5th of July. So, yeah, with that, the standings right now for the second half are right here. Traverse City has the lead with Rockford a half game behind. Kalamazoo is 1.5 games behind. Royal Oak is also 1.5 games behind. Then you have the Richmond Flying Mummies, 2 games back. Then you have the Kenosha Kingfish. They don't need to worry about anything. They are 3 games back. And then you got the Battle Jacks at 4 games back. To be honest with you, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I actually want Battle Creek to get closer to the Growlers so that me and Ann can start arguing with each other to see who.
I mean, I'm not going to argue. They're terrible, but they're fun to attend in person. So I keep going.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Their ballpark was really cool.
Oh yeah,
It looks like an old ballpark that's now being taken over for some college kids. So, I mean, I'd take that any day. But yeah,
Their speaker system made me go deaf. That's the only complaint from me.
All the lug nuts have the same situation there, pal.
True.
I've had people complain to me about it.
Listen, they've given me like 10 million free tickets at this point.
That is awesome, by the way. That is like really fucking funny that they've done that. I think that's really funny and also really cool.
I mean, yeah, it's made me a fan. I'm gonna go back for at least one more.
Come on, Kalamazoo Wings and Growlers.
I mean, I'm already a K-Wings fan. I just don't like the Growlers Stadium. So even if they gave me free tickets, I wouldn't use them.
Yeah, but I got to come down there and see it eventually. So I can log it on sportslogbook.com, baby.
Who says I have to go with you? Maybe you'll take Gary down there.
Gary's gonna have to sign a liability contract that if you had shaky shakes, I'm not at fault.
Listen, Eli brought him down for Battle Jacks and back just fine. It's not that hard.
I went to a Muskegon Lumberjacks game and I was fine.
That was dangerous. That was a hazard.
That was a hazard. We took a massive risk doing that, and somehow Gary was not the one that did the worst at that trip. Actually,
that's Jeffy.
2 people that had the problem were Jeffy and Tyler hitting a window at Taco Bell. Those are the only...
Wait, that wasn't Muskegon. That was the Toledo trip.
I don't care.
That's where you parked in Sacramento.
That's true. And then I got a ticket. And then I got it appealed because
Toledo you got a one-time waiver.
Toledo sucks ass.
All right, are we good on baseball? Is there more baseball to talk about?
I think there's
the only other thing I wanted to go over was the MLB All-Star rosters. Got revealed. It's pretty much everybody you would expect to see on the rosters. Aaron Judge is on there, even though he probably won't be healthy, so he probably won't actually play. The other ones are what you would expect. 3 Tigers did qualify for the All-Star game, but they are listed as reserves. Kevin McGonigal, Dylan Dingler, and Riley Green. Surprisingly, Tarek Skubal did not make it. Actually, not that surprising considering he was hurt for most of the year. But I'm kind of surprised Dylan Dingler didn't make it, but also they won't keep their prize star Aaron Judge out of the All-Star game. So, who's to say otherwise? But just wanted to highlight that as we get closer to the All-Star game. So,
Well, there you go.
But yeah, that's otherwise everything that I had for baseball related. And did you go to the Juliet game or no?
So I wanted to. I skipped it because of the parking situation at Chicagoland. So I'm out like $10. It was a great deal. They're giving me $10 for a ticket, a reserve, like a box of soda. So I took that deal, and then I didn't end up using it because I was rightfully worried about getting to the track on time. My plan was to leave at around 3, and it was like a 10-minute drive normally, like 4 miles or something. I would not have made it into the track on time at all if I did that.
Well, you could have walked.
So I did.
Fine.
No, because I guess that's true. Damn, I should have parked out there, and I didn't have a bike at the time. But anyway, point is, I was at Chicagoland Speedway on Sunday. So part of this, I will take fault. Heller, don't bully me. I should have left earlier than I did. There's a few things. There's a few things that were involved. Few things out of their control, such as Northwest Indiana traffic being a shit show. I spent like 3 hours on a 45-mile drive there. Second factor is I should have left earlier. Third factor was the mud. These parking lots had gotten like storms like crazy 3 days in a row. And so I have a minivan, so not exactly the best mud traversing vessel, but what?
Sorry, I pushed the wrong button. Continue.
Is it the skeleton with the sword and shield?
No.
So also, all the parking lots were muddy. They said they weren't going to park people in the grass lots next to the track, and then they did that anyway.
That's awesome.
So I got it in the muddy lot, and my shoes got muddy, my socks got wet. My car needs a car wash, but I don't know. I made it in fun. I made it out fine, thankfully. But yeah, backups like crazy. There was basically no like direction on the one intersection where I saw a cop, and that was it. No like flex, like there was a 3-lane road they didn't use, like didn't do 2 lanes in. A lot of missed opportunities with trapping in and going out. There were some exits where you just couldn't get out and you had to like wait. Thankfully I hit all the green lights. I did not slow down once other than for red lights going out of the track. It took me 10 minutes like it normally does to get back to the highway. So getting out was easy. I left like right at the end of the race, but I saw the finish. So that's a nightmare, but partially self-inflicted, I will admit. And partially a unique situation because of the weather and all that. But that's done. So I got to the track like 15 minutes before green flag. So that means I didn't have a lot of time to explore the fan area because my ticket was also being weird, and so I couldn't go out there. So not as many souvenirs as I hoped. I did get inside the track. They had a big sticker. So this is going on my laptop. And that was the only souvenir I was able to get. The actual facility under the track is excellent. I'd say best that I've experienced at a racetrack. It's like 60 or 65 rows up to the top of Chicagoland. And about 30 rows or so, they have an upper deck with like actual facilities in it and stuff. Like, you don't have to go all the way down to go to the bathroom. You don't have to go all the way down to get concessions. They didn't have everything. Like, they didn't have any merch stores or anything up on that level. But they did have enough restrooms and enough concessions for everyone. The only real choke points were, like, right at the end of the stage, the line got long. But other than that, if you walked down, I walked down maybe 3 laps to go on the stage to try and beat that line, and there was nobody there. Middle of the second stage, nobody there. So plenty of bathrooms, plenty of concessions. Concourse was obviously crowded, but nothing ridiculous. But it was so nice to not have to go all the way up and all the way down and so on. So highly, very interested in going back. Especially if on the schedule next year. I imagine we're going to have that debate. I personally think both the street course and Chicagoland deserve to be on next year. I guess if I had to pick one, I'd say Chicagoland. But I really enjoyed both. And I'd love to go back to Chicagoland, and it's an excellent facility. Race itself, too, awesome. Great stuff. And my view from the top was immaculate. You can see every inch of the track. In person, the backstretch looks completely straight. You can't tell that it's curved at all. But yeah, you could also see up there that even in the second stage, there was still a giant line of cars trying to get in. But in any case, overall, happy I went. Pretty affordable, pretty exciting, pretty nice facility that I think I should go back to.
How much was your ticket?
So in total, I got it on SeatGeek, $47 to be in 4 rows from the top in turn 1.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
No, it's really good. I mean, they were kind of having a fire sale because they did not sell out until an hour before the race started. A week ago, they looked like they were about to sell out, and then they released all the tickets they had set aside for weekend packages. They were also doing that annoying thing where you can't buy a single ticket out of a group of 2. You have to leave at least 2 seats in a cluster, so I couldn't actually buy one from them. I had to buy it secondhand, but I like SeatGeek anyway. So yeah, I paid $47 and sat in the incredibly good seat. So yeah, highly recommend. They also didn't scan my ticket, so really I could have paid $0 or posted that ticket for resale or something while I was there. But because of where I parked, I didn't go in through one of the main entrances. I went in through some delivery loop, and the guy just let me in. He's like, "This is where you need to go," and he's like, "Come on right through." And I'm decked out in Logano gear. Then I went to when I walked in, I was near the turn 1 tunnel to the infield. Nobody checked my ticket. I had to go through the metal detector again, but it went off, and it's just just go. So
okay.
Well, I think it was because of my ear protection or something, but there's no metal in there. I don't know.
Oh, you have a gun? You can go through. It's okay. We're not going to check your body for
exactly.
it. You're good.
Yeah. So I did not have a gun, but yeah. So my ticket didn't get scanned. So in any case, I wish I could have seen more. But awesome facility. I'd say probably my favorite track that I've been to. I mean, the street course is going to be my favorite track forever, but that's very biased because it's in downtown Chicago, which is already one of the best places ever. Or my favorite places ever, I should say. So that had downtown Chicago scenery going for it, and no other track has that. But in terms of racing facility, Chicagoland's awesome. Outside of parking, I guess, but awesome stuff. Highly recommend.
I feel like what NASCAR should do, and this is my opinion only, is since they had Chicagoland this year, do street course next year, and then after that do Chicagoland, street course, Chicagoland, street course, Chicago, go back forth between it so that people that actually liked the street course can see the street course, and then people that liked the Chicagoland Raceway, they can go to that. So it's you have decisions.
I think really they should look at rotating the street course site too. San Diego was good, but San Diego is not the long-term home of that race. But I think we should have one street race a year. So I know Denver has been floated, Pittsburgh has been floated. Let cities bid for it and move it around, and that'd be my proposal. I'd missed it in Chicago, but It was expensive. I don't know that I would do it again. So
I know they won't ever do it, but I think they should try the Detroit Street Course and switch it for one day with the Michigan International Speedway. But I know that won't happen. That won't happen because it's too narrow.
I'm of agreement that they should move it around. I don't know if they'll do that though. They just need because they need to have a strong enough market. But like the trucks did the St. Petersburg doubleheader with IndyCar. Why can't NASCAR do that? Even
because they already have a bunch of races in Florida. They don't need the idea. Like I guess they had a race in Chicago before the street course, but the idea is to put it in a place that normally doesn't get NASCAR. Like again, like with the Coliseum, that of course there was Auto Club, but it's to put a race in the second biggest market. However, they can't. And I still think the Clash should be a rotating stadium tour. You guys should go to the Cotton Bowl or whatever and do it there. But anyway, that's my opinion, and I know all of you hate it. So, in any case, it's go to new places. Give people who in Denver, the nearest NASCAR facility is very far away from Denver. So, what is it? Is it Kansas? Is it Vegas? Is it Phoenix? I don't know.
It's probably either Vegas or Kansas.
You never. I don't know. I have to look. But in any case, far away. Do a street race in downtown Denver. Then boom, you've brought NASCAR to a bunch of people who would never otherwise engage with the sport. Maybe you get them watching on TV. Same with Pittsburgh's got plenty of options, but
like Pocono.
Yeah, now that Portland's gone. What?
Like Pocono, like you go there.
Oh, would not recommend that.
Do the road course on Pocono.
Once.
What?
Road course at Pocono.
They could.
I mean, try it one time. If it doesn't work out, then
if you bring back the Pocono doubleheader and just do one of them on the road course,
that would be the solution. I'm all for variety. And this is a big thing that was brought up this weekend because there's heavy rumors that NASCAR will just go back to the street course for Chicago. And a lot of people were not happy of the high possibility that Chicagoland was going to be a one-and-done thing. And I will say, I am of those people because Chicagoland put on some really good racing before it was taken off the schedule. And I had a good feeling coming into this race that it was going to be a good race because the next-gen car puts on some really good racing products with the mile-and-a-half tracks. Well, that combined with the fact that they did not fully repave Chicagoland, so the surface was still old and very grainy and tougher on the tires, made for an excellent racing product. There's lots of great battles all around, and everybody's pissed off that the Toyotas dominated, but that's been the case all season long. That's not just a Chicagoland case. But there was still some really good racing. There were lots of comers and goers. And it was just a really good product. And the Xfinity race was good too, despite being delayed till like 10 p.m. or something like that before they finally dropped the green flag due to rain. And then it went over to like almost 2 o'clock in the morning or something like that because it went to overtime. Even that race was a pretty good product. And then the Cup race was great too. It was just really, really good stuff. I mean, we got to see Connor Zilic be ass in both races again. He crashed like 3 times in the Xfinity race after starting on the pole, and then he crashed on lap 1 of the Cup race too, so that was funny as fuck. And then there was lots just like really good tire strategy, lots of great passing, and then of course I saw the Xfinity race had an overtime finish. Brandon Jones won, and then Chase Briscoe finally got his first win of the season in Cup with the late hold off of Christopher Bell. I think NASCAR should go back to Chicagoland, and if they are on the schedule next year, I'm probably going to go because you said it was a great time. And when Chicagoland was on the schedule originally, we were debating doing it anyways, just because of its proximity. So that would just give us more of an excuse to do it anyways.
Oh yeah,
I would love to go to Chicagoland. I mean, Chicagoland's a great place.
Oh yeah, I think I don't know. attendance was the main thing that drove it down in the first place. And again, this year it was excellent because it's, first one in 7 years. So we're all flocking to it. I was flocking to it, especially with the urgency of like, maybe I'll never be able to go again. Year 2, I'd say will probably be pretty strong. Maybe not if they're sharing with the street race. Probably. I'd love to see, if year 4 or whatever is Chicagoland, are people still going? Because that's the main concern I think NASCAR had in the past and NASCAR is going to have in the future, is do people show up for it? And if they don't, then you're kind of in trouble, So I'm going to show up next year. Tyler's going to show up next year. Will it have a sustainable attendance? That's the question.
I think the big problem with it the first time is they had a lot of big expansion plans for the track and they put a lot of money into it, and then the economy went to shit and NASCAR as a whole went to shit. I will say it right now.
But even like in the mid 2010s.
Right, but even so, the NASCAR as a whole was declining, and I will say that drafting, that the package that the cars were racing in those last couple of years of Chicagoland was not great, and we still got an incredible finish in 2018. I will say but also just I think that if there's good racing and there's no rain, if there's not a rain shit show that floods all the parking lots, I don't think you'll have that traffic problem again, which will get more people to the track, more revenue brought in from being at the track, and more people will want to come back.
But also does the parking fiasco make people say, I don't want to do that again, So I'm hopeful. I'm not trying to say this because I want it to be just demolished, but there is more to consider than just the racing product in terms of keeping it on the schedule or not.
Well, obviously, yeah, and I think that they have enough of a market to pull from. I think even if they do the street race, I think a good amount of people will still prefer to go to the Oval. A, because I think overall they can have cheaper ticket prices for the Oval just because of its situation. B, you can see more of the action at the Oval, so people might be more enticed to go for that reason. But also C, just two completely different experiences, so maybe you get fans to go to both. Maybe you just get them to go to one and then they go to the other the next year. I think there's a lot higher potential for fan rendition than what they've had in the first time around. But I will say as well, I think what would help Chicagoland's what I want to get to, as well as Chicagoland staying on the schedule, just increasing the variety of tracks that they go to. And I think we've talked about this in the past, where I'm of the opinion where I'm okay if they bring every track down to one date, if they can increase the variety of where they go during the season. For example, can we fucking get rid of one of the Bristol dates and one of the Martinsville dates? Those two tracks suck ass. With this car.
Bring back dirt.
If we're going to keep this car, can we fucking get rid of each of those tracks, lose a date, and we go back to
Don't bring back dirt.
And then we can go back to keeping Chicagoland on the schedule while also having the street race if they want to stay in Chicago for the street race. Or fuck it, they go back to fucking Kentucky, or they finally bring Rockingham back to the Cup schedule, or they go to fucking Lime Rock Park. That would be an incredible fucking race, considering how difficult that course is to drive for the Truck Series. Put some Cup cars on there and see how that would go, right?
Yeah.
I honestly think that's what they're going to do.
Or you give Dover a fucking points race back and you just get rid of the All-Star race entirely.
Please.
Right? Please get rid of the All-Star race. It does not mean anything anymore. And you give Dover a points race there. Maybe you go to some other tracks that have not been on the schedule for a while, and I can't think of maybe they go
Milwaukee.
back to Milwaukee, or even Road America, or Mid-Ohio. They bring Mid-Ohio
Montreal.
back. Yeah, they could go to Montreal. They could, there's lots of opportunity for variety, and I think
Here's a good one. I know some people, we weren't even probably alive at the time. Japan.
They will not do that again. As funny as that would be, they would not do that again. That is way too expensive.
They're going to Brazil this time.
True.
We are going to Brazil.
Oh yeah, bring back Mexico City.
No.
They could, with the current political climate, I don't see that happening, but it would be cool.
This is what I think they're going to do. This is what I honestly believe. Now that you bring up the Rockingham situation, they're trying it out with the Truck Series and Xfinity and how Rockingham's going to do. And what I think what's going to happen is the reason why they're putting it at the street course is to still have that Chicago date, but also put Rockingham in the Cup.
I mean, because they'd probably get rid of something in that region, like Darlington would go down to one day, or something like that, or the million short tracks in that area, Martinsville or Bristol, or I don't know. My thoughts on North Wilkesboro, Bowman Gray, Rockingham, all that nonsense, but
Richmond lost a date. They will never give a points race to Bowman Gray, rightfully so. North Wilkesboro got a points date finally, right? So there's a lot of
in that area. Darlington could lose the date. Bristol could. Martinsville could.
Yeah, and I'm saying even take a date away from Kansas. Take a date away from fucking
Phoenix.
Why the fuck does Phoenix still have 2 dates? Get
honestly,
the fuck out of here.
Honestly, put Phoenix near the last place of the race of the season. Put it right before Homestead.
Back in the day.
AKA what
they
already have now? Well, I guess there's 2 races in between them right now, but
right, that's what I'm saying. Just do it like Martinsville, Phoenix, Homestead.
But even Daytona and Talladega, I know they always put on great products, but if you're gonna stick to that rule, you could take away those dates, but they probably won't.
Especially when you have Atlanta, who's now a super speedway.
Yeah, fucking take away Atlanta. Yeah, there's one of Atlanta's dates too. Why the actual fuck are we going to Atlanta in July? Who the fuck decided that? Are you being
TNT did? TNT did because they want to be in Atlanta on their portion of the schedule because that's their home race.
I love how we were talking about Chicagoland, and now we're just talking about what should be taken.
Yeah, is there anything more you want to hear on Chicagoland before we go full schedule deep dive?
Not really. No, I think it was a great overview. I'd love to go back. I'd love to go there personally. Like I said, I was really close to going there before it got removed the first time, and now that you've been there, and I'd love to go back without the weather thing, and I'd like to go actually experience the fan area and maybe hopefully not have the traffic problem.
Try to get poker chips.
By the way, I was seeing so many of those posts from people that were like, we never got there because we left at 5:30 p.m. for a 6 o'clock race and we got stuck in traffic. I'm like, motherfucker, leave a little fucking earlier. At least
listen, some people
and you have the excuse of coming from farther away, but some of these people that live locally didn't leave their house until an hour before the race, and they're surprised that they got stuck in traffic.
Yeah, but some people left their house 3 hours before the race for a 20-minute drive and didn't get in on time. Maybe I don't know. It was outrageous. I understand that leaving an hour before is not a great strategy, but man, there were people who left a lot more wiggle room than that and still got hosed.
Yeah, which again, it's not like a Kentucky situation where they didn't have the infrastructure to do it, but
well, the infrastructure to do it got washed away.
Yeah, they did plan on having. They had the infrastructure, and then it all got flooded. So yeah.
Go.
Cool experience though. I'm glad you went.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty cool, and you got to see Chase Briscoe win. So there you go. I guess I don't know how you care.
I don't mind him. I was hoping for Bell to get around him. I don't hate either of them. I don't feel strongly, but winning a race on a broken wrist seems very cool, and the closing laps got pretty exciting because of that chase. Pretty close, but I was pulling for Bell, I'd say.
This is fun. We're having fun. I will say, I already said it, but I'll say it again. One of the best races of the year by far. And it gave Chicagoland a great case to stay on the schedule, and I really hope it does. We We can get back to the schedule talk in a minute. I had a couple other things on my list for your guest appearance today. Since you
All right.
since you didn't come on after Pocono, there's a couple things on here that you did that I thought we could just touch on. I don't know what other sports stuff you've been up to since the last time you were here, but I put down that you visited Berlin Raceway and Hartford Raceway.
So yeah. Let me look.
I don't know if you.
I did Battle Jacks again with Garry, but I can talk about Berlin and Hartford, I guess. Hold on.
We talked a little bit about Battle Jacks, but I mean,
all good. I don't think I've done anything crazy besides Berlin and Hartford. Berlin is awesome. Let me pull up my photo album so that I can go through all my sporting experiences. So I did that. I went to Galesburg, which we've been to before for the 4th of July. That was okay. I just wanted to see a fireworks show, and they had one. So yeah, Battle Jacks. Hartford was interesting. I did not say the whole time because honestly, I did not like this place that much. First of all, the seating is all concrete. They advertise it, but it's all concrete. It's just like one giant slab, and I'm just sitting on pavement pretty much. So the seating arrangement sucked. But they were up front. The 3 divisions, the sprint car tour was pretty interesting, but they were both pretty short heat and pretty short features, so it wasn't that much of the night. And then they had 2 other random divisions that were not very exciting. And then they had over half an hour break between the heats and the features because they wanted to. I mean, they were working on the surface, but I mean, I lost my mind. Got to see the Amtrak go by, which was cool. But overall, just not a great product and not a great facility. I mean, they had a lot of cheap concessions, but I don't know, nothing stood out. It was pretty average. I wouldn't really go back unless there was something particularly exciting at this track. But it just did not stick out to me as, I don't know. I think I'm being a little mean, but I don't know. The series I saw weren't crazy. And for $20 for their normal admission, it's a little high for the short track scene around here. But anyway, it's tolerable. Let's see. We did the Pocono stuff we can touch on. Come on, let me get through all this. I have a million video clips because I was content monkey all the time. There was the Lugnuts rain delay game that happened. Battle Jacks again. Oh yeah, Berlin. Okay, so yeah. Berlin was really cool because they had sprint cars, and those sprint cars were moving. They're doing 14-second laps on a half-mile track, which is crazy. How fast those things were moving. But I don't know. They had the old MRN guy doing PA at Berlin, Jeff Striegel, which was really funny to hear his voice. It's just your local short track, pretty much. But they had a lot of divisions. They had a lot of races. It's giant. It's 9,000 seats. You can stand at the top of the main grandstand and get a really good view of everything. They got some views in turn 4 and turn 1 as well. They gave me a free drink because my concessions weren't ready when I ordered them, and their concessions were good. I got a corn dog. They didn't have any corn dogs ready when I ordered. Took a while to get in. I had a lot of parking set up, a lot of people there, so it was kind of a race to get out. But overall, great facility there, and great racing. It was a little expensive. I think I paid $21, but that felt a lot more worth it than at Hartford because it was a lot better track, a lot better racing, and a lot more that you got for your ticket, I would say. So I definitely go back there, especially for the ARCA race or a bigger event like that, or the sprint car tour. Maybe I'll go back to the sprints because I found out I really like those. So that was Berlin. I think that's all the.
Would you say Berlin was better than Owasso?
I think so. I think Owasso is good, but it's not. I think because the racing in Owasso is very nice too.
I mean, I know the tracks are different, but
yeah, I think I prefer Berlin. I think Berlin's my favorite. Looking back on Owasso, because Owasso's not really banked, is it? I think am I misremembering?
Kind of.
It's more banked
Well, it's
than
iffy.
Berlin, it looks like.
Berlin's not very banked, but Owasso very much is.
Owasso's smaller, but it is banked so that they have a bit higher speeds. But Berlin, I think,
Yeah,
is still faster.
like Owasso is fine. Like it's still wooden grandstands at the end of the day. But Berlin had like a proper concourse, and all that stuff. So it was, I much preferred it to, I wouldn't say much preferred. I for sure, Berlin is top of the list for me in terms of short tracks. I think I've done like all the main ones now around me because I've done M40, Kalamazoo, Galesburg, Berlin, Hartford, and then we've done the ones in, but
Yeah,
all the ones in Southwest Michigan I think are covered now. To Butler,
we're doing Butler in August.
Correct. There's still a Springport one, I guess, in the Lansing area, but
I was up north for the 4th of July, and I did try to knock out Onaway Speedway, but the only event they had going on when I was up there was a family fireworks show, no racing, so I did not go to that.
Boring.
They have a very limited schedule, so I don't know if I'll be able to make it this year, but I am going to try.
So I looked here, and it says Owasso is a 9-degree in the lower lanes and 15 degrees in the higher lanes. And then Berlin is what I think they said is 15. Hold on.
Oh, really? Maybe I'm like
13.
maybe my photos are
banking in the turns and 9-degree banking on the straightaway. So they have more banking on the straightaways.
I'm just stupid, and my picture did not. My pictures and my photo album did not reflect what was actually going on there. But anyway, love Berlin. Would definitely go back if the event warranted it, but it's like an hour from my house, so it's not the easiest.
Cool.
I've always wanted to go to Berlin.
Yeah, I do also want to see Berlin. Looks like looks like a very cool facility. All right. Anyway, unless any of you guys have, we'll do the picks in a little bit. I'm very invested in this schedule talk. So what I've done is I've pulled up the Cup Series schedule and I went across the tracks. So 10 currently, if we're going all in on this variety deal, currently 10 tracks have 2 dates. And those tracks are Daytona, Atlanta, Phoenix, Vegas, Darlington, Martinsville, Bristol, Kansas, Talladega, and Charlotte. And did I say 10? Was that 10 tracks or were there more?
I think you got them all. I don't know that you're missing any that have 2.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Now, you include variety. Now, most of these tracks, in my opinion, I would axe their spring dates. Obviously, the exception would probably be the Daytona 500. Would obviously have to stay, right? But Atlanta, we could axe the Atlanta date. We could axe the first Atlanta date. We could axe the first Phoenix date. We could axe the first Vegas date. We could axe the early Darlington date. Just give it as Labor Day weekend. We could fucking axe Martinsville. We could. I guess the other exception would be keeping the Coke 600 for Charlotte, but that's not really a spring race. That's more of a summer race.
Well, number one, there's a couple things. You could do different configurations at the same track. Bristol Dirt comes to mind. The Roval comes to mind. All that stuff.
Right.
The other thing is, if you don't do that, there's only so many race-ready ovals in the United States. So you can say, sure, we're gonna get rid of every duplicate date and put 10 new tracks on the schedule. I think we should have a few duplicates. But anyway, they're just, like you can go to Milwaukee, you can go to I don't know, maybe beef up IRP. You get the fairgrounds back to its former glory. You build the Auto Club short track. Whatever. There's only so many ovals in the United States or in North America. A lot of the candidates that we discussed earlier are going to be road course, and right now we only have 4, which I think we need to go out. I think we need 1 or 2 more. But if you get to a point where there's 7 or 8 or whatever road courses, like that's probably too many. You don't want almost a quarter of the schedule to be road courses, and so it's better to have duplicate dates than have a bunch of those in my opinion.
Let's go over some like recently removed or tracks that are on the lower division schedule but not on the cup schedule, right? You look at ovals, right? They could bring back Rockingham. Dover could have its all-star dates. We're not going to include that one. It would just make it a points race, right? But then there's also Milwaukee. There's if they wanted to go to a dirt track, fuck it, they could go back to Eldora. Or
don't think that's happening.
They could bring back Kentucky, right?
Berlin.
That's 1, 2, 3 ovals. Did I name 3 ovals? Rockingham, Milwaukee.
Yeah, and
Berlin,
you would still need
Eldora.
to fill 7 more spots.
And if they build that Auto Club track, it's 4. Okay.
They're not doing that. That was a rhetorical statement.
They should, but
they should, but they're not
also,
going to.
Obviously, Indianapolis Raceway Park. That'd be, I guess, technically 4. If they wanted to go back to Indiana, if they wanted to do 2 Cup races in Indianapolis. But obviously they would have to add more road courses. The logical option for the Charlotte race would just be to bring back the Roval, which would be fine. I think it'd be really cool to do Lime Rock Park for a Cup date. I think that'd be a really good race. That would also hit the Connecticut market, if there is one, which I don't know if there really is. Bringing back Road America, if they don't go to Milwaukee, would be cool. Otherwise, they could do a Cup race at Mid-Ohio, which would be weird, but maybe they could do a doubleheader there with IndyCar. You also could go out and bring back Portland, and go back there. You could go to if they wanted to do St. Petersburg. If they don't do Chicago, they do St. Petersburg. That kind of thing. To bring back that one. So there are ways to do it. The abundance of road courses would make SVG literally a title contender, which I don't know if people would like that, but such is such, I guess. Realistically, in my opinion, if you only want to bring back ovals, they would probably remove 3 tracks dates, right? They bring back Kentucky, they make Rockingham a Cup date, and I guess maybe Milwaukee, right? Those are the only 3 fairly logical examples over the next few years. Martinsville and Bristol definitely need to lose a date. Third one, in my opinion, that they would remove would probably... And then if you bring back the Roval, right, adds a little bit more variety. Then you bring back the Chicago Street Course, right? So that's 5 tracks that are changing dates. And you keep Chicagoland. So I say Martinsville, Bristol, definitely lose their spring date. Personally, I'm okay with... I think Phoenix should lose a date. That's 3. I'm okay with Atlanta losing a date. Okay? I am. But maybe that's not the answer because of its timing on the schedule. Las Vegas, also okay with that track losing a date. And then the final one would probably end up being... it would probably have to be Atlanta. I guess as well it could be Kansas or Darlington. Because they're not going to take away Daytona or Talladega. They're just not. So, personally, I think for racing product, I'd probably get rid of Darlington first. Kansas at least puts on a good show, but that's just my opinion.
But Kansas and Chicagoland are basically the same. So, then you have 3 of that.
That is true.
But where would you put Bristol and Martin?
But I guess Gateway is also the same as Darlington. Not the same as Darlington.
So for all of these, you would take away their spring dates, except for Charlotte, because you would take away its fall date and give it to the Roval, obviously, because you can't take away the Coca-Cola 600. But you get rid of Phoenix, right? That's an early March date. I think by that point, they could go to Rockingham, right? And then you take away Martinsville. This year, that was a late March date. That one's a little tough because... But maybe that point, it would be okay to do Kentucky. That would be a little early in the year to do Kentucky, in my opinion, considering its location. But they could probably make it work. And then the spring Bristol date would be mid-April. Again, that would be a tough one, considering most of the tracks that I named to come back or more north. I think. Yeah, that would pretty much be it. They could probably, though, weather dependent, maybe get away with the Chicago street race then, but that would be very risky.
No.
That would be very
No.
risky. So at that point, what you would have to look at then is they're not getting rid of the Bristol night race. But then would you axe the fall Martinsville date? But that wouldn't really work either because that's a November date. So that really wouldn't work either. But what you could do is you could keep the spring Phoenix date and give that fall date to a track. But again, that's a mid-October date. Again, it'd be really hard to get away with that with Milwaukee or Chicago. So, I don't know. There would have to be some... Point being, there would have to be some reconfigurations with the schedule, but it could happen. And I think that is something that they should attempt. Only because when you have more variety, you increase the demand for tickets at the tracks. So there's a better chance that the stands get filled. Especially if they expand, if they bring the Cup Series out to Portland, that's probably going to sell, right? If they bring the Cup Series out to, well, probably not Lime Rock Park because Connecticut sucks, but also just like, I don't know where I'm going with this. Milwaukee, I think that'd be good. You could do Milwaukee or Road America. They probably do Milwaukee, but I don't know. There's my point being, there's lots of places to expand, and I think that there are ways that they could do that.
Your cat agrees.
I would have to. I'd have to take a little bit of a more deeper dive into the schedule to be able to restructure it to fulfill all of the tracks changes. But
Video idea.
Drew. So I'm trying to think.
Sure.
I'm trying to think of other tracks that are like recently removed that they could bring back. A lot of the other ones I'm thinking of were gone a long time ago. Such as if they wanted to go into Colorado, there's Pikes Peak, which used to be a NASCAR track, but that was long ago. And a lot of the other ones are gone. But again, the other options would be more road courses in like Montreal or Mexico City. But anyways, otherwise I think that's pretty much everything that I've got for that. Garry, you wanted to talk about NASCAR 25.
Yes, NASCAR 25. I got it the other day. And me and Tyler did some online racing together. I've never played a game against him. Let me just say, we did wreck a lot of people. We had a bit of an issue because we couldn't even get into the lobby because we had to figure out what the password was and stuff like that.
Well, it's just really finicky because when you exit a lobby, like the lobby completely shuts down, right? And so,
right.
And just like it was very complicated how to make a lobby and then also like invite somebody to the lobby. You can't even like formally invite somebody to a lobby. You just have to like go into the online lobby board and just find the one that is the one you're trying to join. Which thankfully in our case wasn't too bad because there's only like 8 lobbies set up. But like imagine if there's just like hundreds of lobbies that you have to sift through.
But there was also one where I said, you know what, I'll turn off the cautions and do something. And Tyler sees me go backwards. I found out was...
I didn't see you go backwards. What happened was we started the race. You pulled down to the bottom of the track, let everybody pass, and then half the cars on the track disappeared, and you were gone. And you were just gone.
they kicked me from the server because I went backwards. So, not to do that anymore. So,
It was really funny, and you made a good point too that it's a really good way to keep people from getting screwed over in like online racing competitions.
oh yeah, for sure.
It was fun though. Maybe I'm gonna see if maybe I can get it to where I can stream it with Garry maybe at some point.
Could be fun.
It was fun. It was very fun. Otherwise, that's all I've got for NASCAR stuff, for racing stuff. I don't know if you guys got anything different, except that we have to do poker chips for the week.
Yes, I won this week. Chase Briscoe, my guy, baby. Let's go. And Kyle Larson just kept wrecking. So, yeah.
Oh, damn, you actually had the actual winner. I think this is the first time this year that we've actually drawn the actual winner of the race.
Well,
and failed in the mission to get more poker chips, so it's going to be all up to me in October when I go to Talladega to get more. That's actually shit. That's coming up actually about almost 3.5 months. Not that long. Well, still quite a long time. There's a lot.
All right.
There's a lot that's going to happen between now and then, but
Here we go. All three of us are going to pick one. So first we'll do the guests. They will have Noah Gregson.
Great. I'm fucked.
Where are we at this?
It's all right.
Oh yeah, we're at Atlanta. Well, the trucks are in Lime Rock Park, and Xfinity and Cup are in Atlanta. So, you know Atlanta's going to be a shit show. It's probably going to fucking rain. Truck race is probably going to be
And it's
great.
not going to be Noah Gregson.
So Ann wishes this was their pick, but Tyler
No, I don't. He's been so bad. It would be almost as bad as Gregson. He did pretty well. This week was good. This week,
honestly,
good. But also,
for Noah Gregson, all you need is for him to finish in front of Joey Logano and whoever my pick is.
Just the. Go ahead.
I'm glad you brought that up. Joey Logano has been actually fucking terrible this season. It has been so crazy.
Okay, this week was pretty good. He finished 12th, which is fine. But the run where he started on the front row and then fell back to like 28th place hurt my soul to watch. Like every single lap, he lost another 2 spots.
We had Brad Keselowski in fantasy,
I think we're
which wasn't
all
a smart pick.
I think we're all going to be having not a good Atlanta race. Because I got Bubba.
No, he's won plate races before. You got a good chance, especially if that's where it is.
Because of rain.
You'll be fine. Let's go gambling.
Let's go again. Aw, dang it.
Oh, dang it.
Aw, dang it.
Oh, dang it.
Aw, dang it.
Oh, dang it.
Aw, dang it. Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. Well, anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode then of the Live, Laugh, Laugh podcast. Thank you to Ann Pomeroy for being on once again. We'll have you back at some point. I don't know when. That was probably the last big and exclusive sports trip for a while that I could think of.
No, I'm going to the Northwestern Temporary Football Stadium next month for a soccer game.
Oh, okay. We'll probably have you back on then. And you're going
Make sure
you're going to see
log
Pittsburghers
that.
too, aren't you?
What?
You're going to see Pittsburghers too, aren't you?
Maybe. We're going to see because I'm at jury duty.
Oh, that's true. Well, we'll have you on for the Northwestern thing, and then if you see Pittsburghers, you can touch on that at that time as well. But
we'll see.
Anyways, guys, otherwise, it's going to do it for this episode. Stay tuned for much more amazing content, including next week when we recap Atlanta and Lime Rock Park and any other crazy NBA trades and whatever baseball stuff comes up as we get closer to the All-Star break. So, until next time, see you guys later. Goodbye.